Richard Arnold, as you saw, is overseeing proceedings at our special 1 million minutes phone-in at the BT Tower this morning. He's been on the road all week, Martin. He's been rallying his extensive list of showbiz mates.
It's got to be a big list.
He's opened that little black book of his and he's rallied them all, and they were all pleased to be there as well to take your calls, including the biggest celebrity of all, Dr Hilary.
Quite right.
Morning. What is everybody doing there this morning, Richard?
Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Martin. Yes, indeed, we're taking your calls this morning. I have dusted off, as you say, Kate, my little black book. I've got some celebrity chums here who you'll recognise, as well as volunteers from our various charities that we're supporting this year. It's your chance. If you're struggling with any feelings of loneliness today, then give us a call here on the 34th floor of the BT Tower. The number to call is 08000 320 223. That's 08000 320 223. You must be 18 all over, and those lines will close at 8 a.m. today. And I have one of my favourite wingmen here. He's already on the old blower, Dr Hilary Jones as well. We'll be catching up with all your calls and my pals and our volunteers throughout this morning. But remember, that number to call if you are struggling with any feelings of loneliness today, and also it's your opportunity to pledge your own time as well and to volunteer with donating your own minutes. The number to call, once again, 08000 320 223, and you must be 18 or over, and those lines close at 8 a.m. today. We'll be back with you a little bit later.
That's fantastic. And that's what it's all about, isn't it, really? It's great that we've got those experts and people there if you're struggling with feelings of loneliness. But the actual donation of time, what we hear time and time again, I know you know about this, Martin, is that actually giving your time to talk to someone else who's lonely can really, really heal your own loneliness and sense of isolation as well. So it's just a pure win-win, this, really.
It is, and it's funny. I chair a mental health charity, amongst other things, and obviously loneliness is not a mental illness, right? But there are many things like grief and loneliness which really affect your state of mental well-being. And
actually physical state as well.
Totally physical state.
It really affects your physical well-being, so...
The phones are already ringing, which is good news. I'm a patron of one of the charities supporting this grief encounter.
Oh, yes, wonderful charity.
And because my own teen years after suddenly losing my mother were very lonely, as I wouldn't leave the house, and painfully lonely. And you know, loneliness can be long-term, or it can be temporary, and you can move through it and you can get on with your life. So if you're feeling lonely right now and you want some help, give them a call, have someone to talk to, and if you'd like to volunteer, we would love you to pledge your time so that you can go and help somebody else who's lonely.
And help your own loneliness. You know, it could be a few minutes on the phone, it could be a bigger commitment. You might start small and build and build and build. And it's not money, it's time, which is so precious. We all know time is precious. But this is the kind of most quality way, the most valuable way you can use this, we think. So scan the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screens or head to itv.com/1 million minutes and do that.
Quite, yeah. I mean, it's important. Let's just, you know, we're moving up to the festive season. It's a good time to start speaking to people. And the funny thing is about Christmas, whenever I sign off over Christmas, I always say Merry Christmas, but I also wish those people who can specifically find this time of year, those who've gone through grief and difficulties and loneliness. Christmas can be the worst time of year for some people.
Absolutely.
And we have to remember that. So it's very good the campaign's happening at the moment.
It is. It's really good. And, yeah, please help us get those minutes up because it will make such a difference. Should we talk about something lovely? I know you're a big supporter, both of you, of our 1 million minutes campaign.
Yes, we are.
Which does wonderful things. Richard Arnold is at BT Tower this morning with a load of mates, encouraging people both to give a bit of their time, whatever they can. We want to get those minutes up. There it is now, just over 43 million so far, but we want to get them up a lot more so we can really help people next year. And you're also reaching out to people who are feeling lonely right now, aren't you, Richard?
I am indeed, Kate, and as you can imagine, in this particular climate especially, the lines have been red hot this morning. Dear pal Bobby Norris has got out of bed early at the crack of a sparrow's cough to help us with our campaign this morning, and you've been talking to Pam from Gloucester.
Oh, yeah, the lovely Pam. It's been so nice speaking to so many of the callers that have called in, and Pam, she hasn't left the home for 3 years and suffers with loneliness, like so many people that I'm speaking to. But what does make her morning and her afternoon is watching a bit of Tipping Point. So, well, Ben Shephard has that effect, you know what I mean?
He does indeed. I mean, it's a lifeline in many respects, isn't it? Like the Good Morning Britain family, which is so many of you have been calling in this morning. And speaking of the Good Morning Britain family, let's have a chat with our very own Dr. Hilary, who's right here on the front lines for me. Once again, my
Good morning,
dear
Richard.
friend. Good morning, sire. You've been hearing from Fiona in Nottingham.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough for her. She's a single mum. She lost her daughter from COVID. She lost her mother from cancer soon after. She's got 2 teenage sons who are really feeling bereaved. She's feeling lonely. She's holding down a job as well. She's multitasking and feels very isolated. And when she reaches out to other people, she sees other people who are in as couples, so they don't feel so lonely. They've got a support group. And she feels like everybody else. If she's offloading on other people, she's always complaining. And actually, she's doing extremely well. I just told her she's doing so well to hold this all together. And a common theme with all our callers is they see everybody else dealing with difficulties in their lives. So the one thing that unites us is difficulties. And if we share our feelings and our worries about those difficulties, there's a sense of community and people can feel less lonely just by talking, just by sharing their experience.
And also, one thing I found staggering, alongside the statistics of loneliness and people who feel lonely, is the amount of people who feel shame when they're talking about it.
Absolutely.
And of course, there's absolutely no shame in talking about it.
No, I mean, they're doing extraordinarily well, just holding things together. They've got all sorts of difficulties, some which seem insurmountable, but actually just speaking for 10 minutes and you can feel emotions lift. So there is a value in just getting on that phone, pledging some minutes, and it's going to make a huge difference to a large number of people because everyone's got difficulties of some sort or another. Everybody.
Thanks, Doc. We'll chat to you, Radzi, shortly in the show as well. Everybody's been so busy taking calls here. Thanks to everyone who's reached out to tell us their story, but also, of course, to pledge their time as well for our 1 million minutes campaign. The number to call is 08000 320 223. You've got to be 18 or over, and lines close at 8 a.m. today. I'll be back a little bit later on from the BT Tower.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, do give your time. That simple act of kindness, that few minutes will change someone's life. We know that. And also really help yours. That's what we've also found too. So if you've got a minute or two to give, please use the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screens. Good pointing, Martin. You can make a pledge by doing that really quick and easy with your smartphone. Or if you don't want to do that or can't do that, itv.com/1 million minutes. You'll find all the information you need and it helps everyone. So do get involved because we know it'll make a difference next year. Richard Arnold and his team of celebrity volunteers are at BT Tower in central London trying to get our minutes up in our 1 million minutes campaign and hearing from people who are feeling lonely right now, aren't you, Richard?
That's right, Kate. So many of you reached out this morning and touched us with your stories. Our dear friend Matt, of course, has been helping out taking the calls this morning. Who have you been hearing from, Matt?
Lindsay Corby just really needed a lift, and so Lindsay. Hi. Cynthia lost her husband, sadly, and just really needs to be heard, and she hasn't been out in a long time. So please, Cindy, just do what we said and just get out and just my love to you. And Ronnie is 62 in Anglesey in Wales. He just feels very lonely and needs a partner. And during these times, I think that's one thing I've been hearing a lot, that that this time amplifies the way people are feeling. So
it's a feeling that's been echoed in so many of the calls. Yeah. And Matt, thanks for taking your time along, of course, with the rest of our volunteers. Steve, always good to see you, my friend.
No,
Who have you been hearing from?
Do you know what? What a rewarding morning it's been. The difference in the calls that have come in. I've had a lady that's recently lost her husband, which is something that's been a bit of a trend. There's a gentleman that is so low in confidence and self-esteem. He hasn't got it in him to actually go out and make new friends. What a situation to be in. And then there's a woman that has recently fallen ill enough to have carers go in and see her, and she's glad that she needs carers because it's the only company. Oh,
they make a world of difference.
I mean, what a crazy situation
to be in. A world of difference. Like I say, the messages are very much the same, which is why we're doing our best to give you a bit of hope this morning. Tom, how's your morning been? Who have you been speaking to?
I've just spoken to a gentleman called Majid who was feeling terribly lonely because his social circle has contracted so recently. And he rang really just to chat, just to chew the fat and just to disbosom. And it was lovely. It was just a lovely conversation.
It's the volunteering as well that often helps, as we've been saying all morning and throughout our Million Minutes campaign. It is a two-way street. So thank you all for pledging your time this morning. I'm delighted to report that we have added another 5 million minutes to our 1 million minutes campaign this year. That's phenomenal for a morning's work.
Wow.
So thank you all, ladies and gents, for volunteering. Thank you for reaching out to us. And remember, that time that you pledge isn't just for Christmas and this time of year. Those minutes are pledged throughout the year, and they really do make all the difference. So thank you very much indeed, and I will see you tomorrow with a couple of chums from Emmerdale. Thank you once again, guys. Thank you very much indeed.
Absolutely. If you're feeling rushed off your feet right down, think I haven't got a minute to spare, don't worry. You can spare the minute elsewhere. Well done. Thank you so much.